right up here in the corner, right? All right. Look, you know the sequence, right? Got the chimes, got the purr, got the bell. Hey, everybody, Shane here with dailyastrocat.com. Let me put myself on the full screen. Hey, there I am. Hi. Hi, everybody. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about, let's see, we're going to be talking about our top 5 astrological events, but actually it's just towards the end of the week, so we're really going to be focusing on this full moon, what's going on, what we're looking at, and what's happening. I want to show you a couple of charts to do with this, and let's get going, okay? We're not going to take any time to do this, so we're going to share the screen here real quick, and let's go. So this is what we got going on here, right? This is what we do all the time. This is me. Yes, indeed. There's my little altar that with the candles and stuff. This is where I do my recording. Yes, only it's late at night on Wednesday, practically Thursday morning, okay? Now, we're going to skip this part here because we really don't need to do this. Now, on the 15th, we're going to have a couple of events, and that's coming up on... It's actually coming up on Friday. So the 15th is Friday, and Thursday, you know, we've had pretty much a rough time all week, right? Things have not quite gone the way that we've wanted. Operationally, okay, our reflexes and everything like that, how we're reacting and everything has been pretty good, but you know, the actual execution and what's happening and what the outcomes and stuff like that, they've been better, right? Okay, yeah, we can kind of agree on that. Although we do have some clarity, we do have some direction, and we do have some meaning behind us, right? There's certain things that we know that we're moving towards and that we're doing. There's things that we're giving up that we're surrendering, right? And that's part of that whole Libra nodal reset. We have the dwarf planet Vesta, asteroid Vesta, sitting at almost conjunct with the South Node. So we're still, you know, and that's the keeper of the flame, the keeper of the hearth, the keeper of you know, some other astrological things. Don't put too much, I don't put too much emphasis on these things. I just happen to mention them because they're there. We had the whole Haumea thing going on, and we do also have Saturn in a very interesting position with all of these things going on. Couple of asteroid names, you don't really know them. We really want to talk about the moon, though, because we want to talk about this supermoon. This supermoon, well, let's talk about Saturn direct, because what's going to happen is when Saturn goes direct, it's kind of like the Earth starts catching up, and now we're going to be going in whereas Saturn looked like it was going backwards in our sky, if you were looking at our sky, now it's going to start moving forward. But before it moves forward, it kind of slows down and focuses a little bit. At some point, Saturn is at its closest point to the Earth during this retrograde period. That's because it happens to be opposing where the sun is at. So with Saturn in Pisces, we were in this opposition period when we found ourselves in Virgo, right? But Saturn's been direct for a long time. Saturn's been direct since, I believe June, if I'm not mistaken. So what we're really looking at here is we're looking at Saturn going direct. Now, when planets go retrograde, they say that the energies go, you know, it's kind of like a review process of things. Saturn just has us review this all the responsibilities, all the institutions, what's going on, right? You know, there's definitely a feeling of what we've done, what we've reviewed, what we've looked at, where we're headed as far as institutions and stuff like that. We've seen some things that are taking off. We see some things that are sliding backwards. We see a lot of these different items that are playing out. Now, Saturn going direct just gives that our responsibilities and stuff like that an extra emphasis for the weekend when we're looking out on Friday, Saturday. The moon is actually going to be also conjunct with Uranus, and we're going to see that when we do this. But let's talk about the supermoon, because the supermoon just appears much brighter in the sky. And actually on Friday, now, here, let's go over here, because we got our Saturn direct chart right here. You can see the little R for retrograde. This is right at the moment when Saturn goes, but it's probably a couple seconds off. That's why you still see the R there. So the R is next to Saturn. Saturn is at 12 degrees Pisces. So think about where 12 degrees Pisces is in your chart, and that will be definitely a focus for you. For this guy here, it's a busy place in my chart. Got both Mercury and Venus just sitting there. So where's yours at? It's a good question, right? Hit us up in the comments, okay? Love to discuss some of this stuff with you. This is what you see. This is what we got. So now, if you look at this chart, you can see that Saturn is actually over here. You're going to ignore the clock face, of course, because we're just talking about what this is. Now, if this were an event chart, you would just put this to your time and just go right around. So this is happening in the house of home for us here on the East Coast, which is the fourth house. That's the fourth. That's the Cancer house, the house that's ruled by Cancer, and we actually have Pisces in there. So there's it's an interesting dynamic because it's just going to be repeating our clock face all the way around. So it kind of just shows up as with the different various trines and stuff like that. Now, we do have Saturn at 12 degrees would be, where are we at? The moon right there, and the moon would be at 19 degrees. So we've just about basically got a helpful, friendly sextile, a little smiling face, right? That's the direction we want to move in emotionally. So emotionally, we want to just have this Saturn stuff kind of get into it, right? This is a spiritual opportunity for us. It's a gateway that can possibly open, and it's going to open materially on the in the earthly realm, because this is what we're talking about. We're talking about these things happening. Taurus things are material for the most part. It's ruled by Venus. We've got Venus sitting over there, and we can see where Venus is sitting in Capricorn. So Venus has already entered Capricorn. We've got Mercury making his way through Sagittarius. Now, Mercury is going to go retrograde very, very soon, like within days. I believe the 19th, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a couple of days. So early in the evening, let's move this chart now, because this is for 9:20 in the morning. We can see the sun coming up over our horizon right here. And now put our sun right there. Now, the full moon in Taurus, we're going to switch to chart, because that's going to occur first thing right there, okay, right in the morning. So that occurs in Taurus, it occurs 4:28 p.m. Okay, 6:32 p.m. I have here. Well, I have a different time. So I've got 4:28 is when the full moon occurs, and that's just as the moon rises. It will be virtually conjunct Uranus at that point. 12 degrees. We got 25 degrees and 24 degrees. So 24 degrees of Taurus, and Uranus is at 25 degrees of Taurus. So virtually right there. They are actually come together at 6:32. That's what that big 6:32 is on there. And our sun happens to be at 24 degrees Scorpio. So this is Scorpio full moon, a culmination in Scorpio. What is it what's the secret stuff that's going on, right? What's ending? What's happening behind the scenes? What kind of things can we bring to the surface, or is it going to come to the surface for us? And what kind of surprising developments have we had? What is actually going to be happening for us? It's going to make us healthier and wealthier for the months ahead, really, if you really think about it. And we've got some great opportunities here in the next couple of weeks to really find some immediate growth and just be able to take and go with it. Now, as the sun starts to pass through Scorpio, we're going to enter that Sagittarian season where things are going to get very, very hopeful, very optimistic, and very slightly more fast-paced, because Sagittarius likes a fast pace. It's a mutable sign, so it's not really great at focusing. We've got all our focus here in Scorpio. So these last couple of days in Scorpio is where we really want to make sure we're solidifying what it is that we are doing, especially with that moon in Taurus. Now, moving right along, think about it now. As that moon comes up at 4:28, we're going to have 4 planets. I'm going to go back to that chart because, oh no. How do I go backwards? I can't go backwards. Oh, boy. Okay, let's see. Let's stop sharing here for a second. Let's go back and... Oh, there we go. Oh, for crying out loud. Rookie mistake, let me tell you. Okay, we're back to sharing. So let's go back to sharing. So if I go back on... this particular chart here to the full moon and Taurus chart, what we'll see is just after the sun dips down below the horizon, we got Mercury low in the sky. For about an hour after sunset, you're going to have Mercury right on that horizon. This is your best chance to see Mercury, by the way. Binoculars are recommended. And then high above it, you're going to see Venus as well. So we've got Mercury, Venus, and then we'll have Saturn just starting to emerge as it gets darker, and then we'll have Jupiter rising later on in the evening. So we're going to have 4 planets visible in the sky, 4 visible planets at this point, and we'll also have our full moon. So the full moon is what we're going to be culminating in, right? We're going to culminate that Taurus thing. The things that started in Scorpio, we're actually finishing. Now, I probably think I said full moon in Scorpio. It's not. The full moon is actually in Taurus. The sun is in Scorpio. We had our new moon in Scorpio where this set. Now, this month also happens to be a little bit longer. And we're going to have a second new moon in this month, a new moon in Sagittarius. So this moon is going to whip right around here. Remember, it's only 27 days for the moon to make a full orbit, 27.32 or 33, depending on how you look at it, roughly 28 days. So it's got about 2 weeks to come around and be conjunct with the sun, which is what a new moon is in Sagittarius. And now, with the moon in Sagittarius, that's going to be a new moon. And that's called a black moon when we have 2 new moons in a month. Just how like you have 2 full moons in a month, that's called a blue moon. 2 new moons in a month, that second moon is called the black moon. So blue moon, black moon. So we've got a black moon happening this month. It's going to be quite interesting because that really is a new seed period. That's where we can really just start doing those expansion seeds, right? That's where this culmination in Taurus, the some of the seed money maybe that's out there, some of the seeds that we've planted in our fertile Taurus soil actually can start springing up in Sagittarius, and that brings about a great amount of growth, right? And just remember, it's opposite Gemini, so we're going to have some different ideas popping up. It's going to be quite interesting. I like this chart a lot. Now, with that being said, we also have these outer planets here that we really have to pay attention to. We have Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus, because the moon, when she passes over at 6:32 in the evening and is conjunct with Uranus, and Uranus is functionally opposing the sun. So we've got this Uranus-Sun opposition, surprising, just different energies, right? There's some real energies there. In Taurus, we've got some things that are happening. I wouldn't be surprised if we had markets rally, or they could crash. You just don't know, because Uranus is that way. It's either all in or all out, right? Not saying that it's definitely a crash, because this is actually kind of a bit more positive, because we have the other planets there. We have Neptune and Pluto. But now this is all within the old order, right? This is going to be shifting. So right now we're in the earthy realms. We're in earthy and watery realms. So we have Taurus, Pisces, and Capricorn, respectively. Within the next couple of years, those are all going to shift into Aquarius, Aries, and also Gemini. And believe it or not, Saturn and Neptune will both be entering Aries together at the same time, same day. Right around the same time, right at 0 degrees Aries. They like to call that's the official starting point of the zodiac, right? That's 0 degrees Aries is where everything begins. That's where the zodiac begins. The first sign is Aries. Aries begins at the 0 sign. Talk about a reset. Talk about something that we're going to do over again, right? Think about it. Pluto in Aquarius. That's basically bringing on your age of Aquarius, just about. There's an argument that can be made for that. It's a different kind of mindset. It's a different kind of a feel for society. And it's going to get markedly different because of the way that we are moving in. We're moving towards enlightenment. That's Aquarius is that sign of the enlightenment, right? It's the sign of the think about it. The ruler of Uranus. Uranus was discovered right around the time of the Enlightenment, which is not to say it's the Renaissance, but it's the Enlightenment, a massive awakening right between the American Revolution and the French Revolution, when the American government was established. So that's really what we're looking at. It's very interesting. It's quite compelling. Love to know what you would think about it. Throw a comment down there. It'll be fantastic. And I think that's what we got. The Sun-Uranus opposition, we have that right there. I told you that's going to happen a little bit later on. That actually happens on the Saturday. So Saturday is how long you have to wait for that. So that's going to happen at 25 degrees Taurus or 25 degrees Scorpio. Take a look at your chart and see where you sit right there, and then you'll see where those reverberations will come from. Most of the markets are closed for those for the weekend. So really keep an eye on your crypto space, because that's where we found Uranus to be quite active when it's retrograde. We find that there's definite spikes in cryptocurrencies that occur when Uranus is retrograde, and it'll be very interesting. Not saying that you want to do it, because remember, Willie's caveat for investing in crypto, or serious is always, only invest what you're willing to lose, because there's no such thing as a sure deal, right? That's right. That's right. So that's what we got. Hey, look, make daily AstroCat part of your routine, okay? Make it a daily routine. The podcast is on YouTube. It's also available at our website, which is daily-astrocat.com. Subscribe and click to receive the notifications. We love all of you. Thank you so much. I'm an intuitive astrologer. Just do this every day. Been doing this every day for 5 years, and it's just been so much fun. It started out as a coding exercise, but it's just turned into something much more. It turned out we used to have those stories about the cats. We still do speak through those allegories and metaphors, and we have our own cosmology that makes things very interesting. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop sharing this right now, because that's actually awesome. Hey, guys, thank you so much, and appreciate it. Happy astrocatting.